If you love WLS, if you love Super CFL, or if you just love Chicago radio in general, you're going to love this. Hi, it's LSB Feaster here, and welcome to LSB Feaster's radio channel, where we keep great radio from the past alive. And today, we're featuring a radio special called For Radio Geeks Only. It aired on 720 WGN. It happened Friday, August 15th, 2025, and it features 720 WGN hosts Bob Sirott, who used to work at WLS and TV in Chicago, and John Records Landecker, who spent many years with WLS, as well as FM 98 The Loop, WLUP. For Radio Geeks Only was a 3-hour radio special where Bob and John reminisced about their days as music radio DJs. They played their favorite jingles and radio airchecks and were joined by special guests, 1960s radio personality Ron Riley and WGN alum Spike Odell. They shared a bunch of stories, behind-the-scenes radio stuff about Chicago back in the day. It was a lot of fun for us radio geeks. So if you are ready and you love Chicago, check this out. It's For Radio Geeks Only on 720 WGN Chicago.
John Williams may be the king, and Landecker's middle name is Records, but you can just call me BS. Bob Sirott, 6 to 10 a.m. weekdays on 720, Chicago's original social media. WGN Chicago. The Next Star Media Group station.
This is WGN Radio.
You are listening to Radio Geeks Only.
Chicago radio legends Bob Sirott and John Records Landecker relive the golden age of radio. Tonight, they'll take your questions and give you the answers only they can give. It's For Radio Geeks Only.
I don't know about you, John. I'm a myth, not a legend.
I'm going to say this right now. I'll make it perfectly clear. I'm hot. I'm leaving. Good night. I mean, come on. Wait. Here we go.
And
why? It's got to be so hot all the time.
Thank you,
That's
Ron
code.
Britton.
There's a little code right there.
Yeah,
a little code.
Hear from King B later. I don't know if I like hearing the golden age.
Well,
it seems like Chuck Shaden should come through the hall closet and start playing old Jack Benny shows here. Anyway, it's a special Friday night edition of the John Landecker Show.
No, it's not the John Landecker Show. The John Landecker Show does not appear usually on Friday evenings from 7 to 10.
It's for Radio Geeks Only.
Well, it's usually Dave Plyer, but he's taking his daughter back to school.
Well,
That's what I heard.
I'm your guest
so here
disc
we are.
jockey.
So, no, this is his own thing. This is, what do we call it?
For Radio Geeks Only.
Radio Geeks Only, yes, right.
And this is the latest. I've been up since my bar mitzvah. Yes, I am Bob Sirott. And am I live right now?
Yes, you are, Bob.
Are you?
I believe all indications are that we are both live at this moment on WGN, yes.
Why didn't we do this program in the morning so I wouldn't have to come back to the station tonight?
Well, this was your idea, and you never said anything about doing it in the morning. We can't do this in the morning. You've got too many serious things to do in the morning. You've got all that traffic and the weather and sports. Mm-hmm. What do we have here? None of that. Well, I mean, okay. We've got David in there, but we're not. It's not there's too much business in the morning to be able to pull this off.
Well, people get up. They want to know if the world still exists.
They want to hear
what happened in sports. What's the traffic? What's the weather? I would tell you what we're going to do here, checking our script, but there is no script.
That's right.
So we'll just say, and this is what you do when you have no script.
What is that?
You can call or text us tonight.
Oh, yes, indeed.
You're here until 10, 312-981-7200. I think you are just itching to read an old memo, aren't you?
It's a very appropriate memo to read at the beginning of the program. This is an actual WLS memo from Friday, July 28th, 1972. From the Scott Childers collection. Mm-hmm. As each of you know, We are in an audience measurement period.
Wait a minute. Who's this memo from?
Mike McCormick.
He was the program director.
Yes. Didn't he hire both of us?
No, I came later. You were there.
Tommy hired you.
You were there in 72.
Yes, I
came
was.
a little later. So this is a memo from the boss to all the disc jockeys at the time?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear it.
I am trying to. As each of you know, we are in an audience measurement period. Excellence of performance is necessary from each of you daily. Without a 100% plus performance by the entire air staff, we will not realize our full potential. I am displeased at the overall sound of the radio station. Some of you may have surpassed your previous achievements. Others are coasting. Unfortunately, a Mayfield, Kentucky program director could detect this. Where did that come from? I mean, like, oh man, not Mayfield, Kentucky. Please don't say that.
Meaning even a small town
I
boss
guess so.
would notice.
And I'm afraid our audience is also aware of poor and unprepared performances and the fracturing of the format. There is not, nor will there be in any case, any place on the WLS air staff for coasters. We are not coasters. There's more, but it gets too much into the minutia. Generally, he was disappointed and some of us were coasting.
And what was your reaction to this? Did you change your act on the air?
No.
Well, as long as we're doing...
No, not at all. I mean, you can't... Come on. Did you ever get a memo that actually made you change what you were doing?
Well, I don't have the actual memo in front of me, but I'll tell you, since this is now a feature called For Our Eyes Only, confidential memo.
Yes. Oh, yes.
One time.
Yeah.
I got this memo. We had a campaign, an anti-shoplifting campaign on the station.
These are real, by the way. These are not made-up memos.
And so a public service announcement was scheduled on the afternoon show that I was on about shoplifting and how terrible this is and our campaign and all that. And so when it came time to read that public service announcement, I said, I'm supposed to read an announcement now about shoplifting, but I can't because someone stole it.
Well, that sounds perfectly normal. I mean, that's exactly
the man in charge of the station was not amused.
He was not amused?
No,
really?
No.
Oh, man. So what's the content of his non-amusement? What did he say to you in that memo?
Do not make fun of our campaigns. This is very serious.
Yeah.
And when you make light of it, you belittle our efforts.
It's shoplifting. Come on. I don't remember our campaign to stop shoplifting.
It was a very serious campaign. Don't make fun of it.
I won't say a word. In fact, I can't. I'll erase it from my memory completely.
Do you have commercials here in the nighttime?
There you go, Bob. You said you didn't know how this was going to work. You're down here in the nighttime. It's all sorts of strange. Well, almost nighttime. 7:16, and for Radio Geeks Only is sponsored by our friends at Apple Chevrolet. As we sit here reminiscing about the good old days of radio, it's great to know that there's still a family-owned car dealership providing that genuine business culture, just like the good old days. Mm-hmm. Apple Chevy's been grounded in legacy since 1963 with a true, heartfelt, caring environment. The Alfirovich, is that the way it is?
No,
do I have it?
They're great. Yeah.
That's the way you say it?
No, the John Alfirovich.
See, now
and
you
company.
You know them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I've been there. I like to hang out there.
I have a feeling that I'm not surprised. Family continues to invest in people. They know you prefer to talk to a smiling person, not artificial intelligence or a chat bot. You'll always get a local, helpful automotive expert to answer all your questions the way it should be. They'll treat you like family and keep commitments with a handshake. Plus, they're so committed to giving back to the community with large annual fundraisers for Toys for Tots, USO of Illinois, and others. Trust me, this is the kind of dealership you want to do business with. For the best car buying experience, trust the good people at Apple Chevrolet. Your journey starts at applechevy.com. That's applechevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Chicago's radio, WGN.
Bob Sirott, John Landecker. I got it. Before I go any further, though, I have some old business. We had that memo from Mike McCormick, right?
Your former program director.
Yeah, before you got there.
Yep.
Okay, now everybody's heard me say this a trillion times. I'm John Landecker. Records truly is my middle name because Records truly is my middle name. It's been said a squillion times, but guess who doesn't like it? A lot of the program directors that I work for. Okay? So, I'm in Lansing, Michigan. I'm John Records Landecker. I get a job offer from a station in Philadelphia, WIBG. You're not John Records Landecker. You're Scott Walker. Okay, I'm Scott Walker.
Who told you to do that?
The program director.
And he thought the name was fake? John Records Landecker?
There was never any consideration of that being used. As a matter of fact, he was fired, and he called me over to his apartment, and he said, Scott, what do you want to do next? And I said, well, I want to go back on the air as John Records Landecker. He said, that'll never work. Why don't you just go to a media market and get it out of your system? Anyway, so I went on this station there, the same station as John Records Landecker, and then I get hired at LS. And he says, don't use the middle name. I'm like, what's going on here? I was using it there. You knew it when you hired me, and now I'm not using it?
And it's your name.
Not to mention, it's my name. So the moment, and he also got into, I'm into this story. I guess I'm going to go. He also got into some sort of a power play with the Warner Brothers records and Derek and the Dominoes, Layla, and School's Out by Alice Cooper. And he didn't play those. He was in a bar in Arlington Heights and heard Happiest Girl in the USA by Donna Fargo one night and went, hey, that's what we should play. And I'm like, okay. So there I am, no middle name, zippity-doo-dah day. It's the happiest girl in the whole USA, and he gets fired. So WDAI, or whatever they were calling themselves at that time, was one floor below. And I went down there and got a copy of School's Out and Derek and Layla. I went on as John Records Landecker and played those two songs back to back to back to back to back to back. I don't know, maybe for an hour.
On the AM station?
Yeah.
Then what happened?
A lot of listeners. And then this guy, Bob Sirott, showed up from BBM FM or wherever he came from. And J.J. Jeffrey was there. And the whole thing went absolutely bonkers in a good way.
That was. I got there in the summer of '73.
Yeah.
By the way,
yes.
I neglected to mention this at the top of our broadcast. Thanks to the Air Force Thunderbirds for the sonic booms in honor of our special tonight. The WGN promotion department really going above and beyond to work that out.
Did you ever go to Fred Winston's apartment in Lake Point Tower?
I think one time.
For the Air and Water Show?
Yes.
And remember seeing the jets going by
yep.
so close to his apartment you could literally see into the cockpit.
And I remember, yeah. Didn't you have no, you weren't there. You were at McClurg.
I was at McClurg, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were different parties.
Yeah, I kind of remember. It's a statute of limitations.
Yeah, go ahead. Say whatever you want.
We will play between now and 10 p.m. Some very amusing audio from our dumpster of memories. We will hear Ron Britton. One of our favorites.
We bonded over Ron Britton.
On WCFL.
Mm-hmm. From different directions. You were here. Mm-hmm. I'm over in Michigan going to college. I hear him. You listen. We get together here. It's like, is there anything better? No.
He's the greatest.
He's the greatest.
Some of those jingles that he played on WCFL were also the greatest. We'll play those. Right. We also found something you and I did on the radio.
Oh, my God.
One afternoon that involved me, and you did the narration as I, using my motorcycle, jumped over was it a pond?
Of disco ducks.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, you know, one of the stations I was told by somebody years later that what we did was capture the zeitgeist. I said, what? You captured the zeitgeist of that era. Okay, so I interpret that to mean like, so Jaws is a hit, right? Mm-hmm. So I do this big elaborate skit where I'm eaten by a shark live on the air, right? Mm-hmm. Happy Days is a hit. So you and I go out and put on leather and get a picture taken.
Yes, we posted that on social media.
On motorcycles. Yeah. And then you did a bit where you did a motorcycle jump, all in the name of capturing the zeitgeist.
That's what we did.
We did.
Back in the early days he was on through the 60s on LS and then also on CFL a little bit, Ron Riley.
Yeah.
And I talked to him the other day. You'll hear that conversation, and also a conversation we had with him a few years back where he talked about emceeing the first Beatles concert in Chicago at Comiskey Park.
Yeah.
Spike Odell. Remember Spike Odell?
Yeah. Absolutely.
We thought we would sort of widen out a little bit tonight and not just focus on ancient history.
Yeah. Well,
we'll talk to Spike later.
Although most of it, even if it's not that ancient, is sort of semi-ancient.
Yeah.
So, remember Dan Filato?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was at LS when I was in the toilet.
You know, we know Dan produced Steve Dahl for a long time.
But that was good. But I'm talking about when it was bad. Okay? Uh-huh. And I'm there, and it's really bad. And one day, Filato comes in with Spike Odell.
What?
Yeah.
Spike was visiting?
No, he wanted to meet me.
Uh-huh.
I guess he had come from the Quad Cities or Stereo Cities or what, Circuit City or whatever they are.
That's right. He was working at Circuit City. That's exactly right.
And so he'll probably recall that, I would think.
Well, we'll ask him.
Oh, man. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it till 10 o'clock. This is just way too much fun.
And also, I have a great story. We shouldn't forget our colleague here at WGN Radio who's on Saturday night with Johnny Steve King.
Oh, my God, yes.
Who was on...
After me.
That's right, at 10 at night.
Yes, that's right.
And Steve and I worked together at BBM FM.
Now, you got to make it clear that that's BBM FM way back
when they played rock music.
But you were doing mornings. Didn't you?
I was here's what happened. They hired me to one summer be the fill-in vacation person, and at the end of the summer, they had an opening in the morning because they had been automated, the young sound with just tapes, and they were going live. So they figured, well, we'll give this guy the morning show. He's like 21 and he's not really good.
He can't break anything.
Nobody has FM in their car, so nobody can listen in the morning. So give him the morning show. So I did the morning show. Steve King did the afternoon show at BBM FM.
Right.
They went from the young sound to Stereo 96. And actually we played some good music.
Yes, you did. I think I met you then.
Yes.
Because my apartment was right next door to the studios.
That's exactly right.
I met you before you even came over to LS.
Yeah, that was in like 71, 72.
You'd be in the apartment denying everything that was offered to you.
Exactly, as I still am. So Steve was doing the afternoon, and he's an Elvis fan, a big Elvis fan.
Oh, boy, is he ever.
And we were talking about this morning because it's Elvis Week in Memphis, because tomorrow is the anniversary of his death. He died on August 16th, 1977, 48 years ago.
That's right, yeah.
So Steve King, huge Elvis fan. And remember, Channel 7 used to run local movies in the afternoon. And
they did?
Yeah, they did, at 3:30. They had the 3:30 movie. And the week, and I kid you not, I kid a little, but I don't lie. The week of the 3:30 movie, Elvis Week, when they played all Elvis movies on Channel 7, Steve King, who worked in the afternoon, he took the week off so he could watch. Couldn't record it.
There's no way to record then. You got to do what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
So, speaking of got to do what you got to do.
Oh, smooth, John. Very smooth.
Well, thank you. Some things I have picked up over the years. It's bottom of the hour. Time to get into the WGN newsroom. See how that worked? Okay.
Oh, excellent.
Excellent.
Hey, it's Lisa Dent. WGN's been around a while, but we're on the cutting edge, too. Make us the first button on your car's digital dashboard. We'll show you how at WGNradio.com.
It is 88 degrees and still fair skies at 7:30. Good evening. I'm David Jennings.
Yes, John and I are doing this again in spite of popular demand.
That's right.
Ron Riley was arguably the most popular disc jockey in Chicago and one of the most popular DJs in America from about 1963 or 4 until about 1970.
Was he part of the original lineup? At LS?
He came a little bit later.
Okay.
A little bit later. And he was on in the evening before Dick Biondi.
Oh, wow.
Right before.
Wow.
And he had a famous feud.
Oh, with Clark Webber.
That's right.
Hold on, a friend of mine. Riley Rebel Raiders or Webber Commandos.
That's right. And he eventuely did TV in Baltimore. He was a weatherman.
Right,
he did Bowling for Dollars.
Yeah.
But we remember him in Chicago, and we caught up with him a couple of days ago. He's 91 now.
Bless his heart.
Listen to this. And of all your great memories of Chicago, which ones stand out all these years later?
Oh, boy, that's a tough one, my friend. There were so many good ones and so many great people and so many newies, people coming out and all of a sudden pop, and you had someone there that's going to get you, a great opportunity to just get to the people. Mm-hmm. But I think that if I have to say about anybody I really liked and remembered was Batman.
No, you were
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, they flew you out to appear on an ABC episode of the Batman, didn't they?
Yeah. But there were so many great people and so many newies and starters. It just boggled the mind. But we had such a great time at the time.
Ron, what has surprised you over the years when you hear from your old fans? Because you always do, don't you?
I do, and I'm surprised they still mention. We're all getting older as time goes on, and you would think you'd fade into the dust. But I think that segment of music really hung on for a lot of people throughout their lifespan, and possibly into others as time went on.
Mm-hmm. How did your time in Chicago lead to many other jobs over the years? Because your connections here lasted a long time in a way, didn't they?
They did. And I really was in the dumps for a long time trying to get to Chicago. So I worked at a lot of smaller stations in Wisconsin and areas of Illinois. And finally, one day when I was at a station in Madison, Gene Taylor called, who is the program director of WLS at the time, and he said, "Ronnie, can you be here tomorrow?"
Wow. and you did in a hurry, didn't you? You moved fast. But then over the years, I know you worked in TV in Baltimore, and it seemed like you were always getting hired by people who remembered you from your days in Chicago, right?
Oh, absolutely. I was in, at a time, and boy, you were really a kid. I'm still getting, would you believe it? I'm still getting feedback every so often from people, or their children who have some kind of map or something on the wall, and the beat goes on. Mm-hmm. It's breathtaking, when it does happen.
What do you remember about your first night on the air in Chicago? Do you recall?
Wet pants.
I did. I wasn't sure what you said there. I get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how long did it take before your pants dried out?
Well, I'll tell you, I kind of grew into everything, and it was more of a wake up to me than maybe some kids, because that was the first time I was able to get there and really get on the air and see what other people were doing on the other side, and it was really wonderful at that time, because we were all learning, and it was growing, and the whole thing of all of us guys were doing really well. I happened to be in the nighttime segment on the air, so I got out too and did a lot of the record hops, and it was just an unbelievable experience for me. That's for sure.
What can you tell us about the documentary being produced about you? Do you believe that they're doing a movie about your life and your career?
Yes, I heard about that. And, Bradley is a fellow who's doing it, Bradley Stahl. I got a little information on it, and of course they're picking my brain on stuff, and I think it's going to take a little time, but it might be really interesting to see what happens to myself this time of my life.
And Ron, what do you want to say to the fans listening right now who remember you, remember Bruce Lovely, they remember your feud with Clark Webber, you remember you interviewing the Beatles, and you being in Batman? People still have their Ron Riley Batman cards. What's your message to those people who still remember you fondly today?
Oh my God, I don't know. I mean, it's bewildering, because I'm still getting feedback from certain people. Aren't you the guy who, and then it's some lady with white hair come over, which is just wonderful. So I don't know actually anybody else, at least in my reach, that could continue with all of their, the information that we have had for all these years, and people still coming up to you and saying something. And I'm long ago Chicago, long ago Milwaukee, long ago, all of us, and I've been in other places, and I just marvel at WLS always comes back as a memoir of somebody, a landmark where they grew up on, or they heard of, or their father was like that. How do you measure that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And the answer to the question, where is he now? Ron Riley is living happily ever after with his wife in the Northeast still. You've been there for a long time, haven't you?
Yeah, pretty much so. We have, and, we were still holding friends and nearby, and, enjoying this portion of our life between Linda, my wife, and I. And we have a lot of friends, and we even talk about the Beatles once in a while.
Well, we'll never forget you in Chicago, that's for sure. Ron Riley.
Oh, thanks. That was just a amazing wake up for me. It was unbelievable that all this stuff would come together, and it's a jaw dropper.
Well, it's great to hear your voice again. You've done well for a guy who only wanted to be the next Dick Biondi. You
got it, man. It's gone way beyond that. I couldn't believe that it really did. I'm still getting people once in a while talking and remembering, and it just something that happens rarely, I think, and in the rock and roll industry. But you guys are doing well out there, and I wish you good luck, and everybody have a very good time this time of the year.
Thank you, Ron Riley. Great to talk to you. 91 years old.
Yeah.
And we'll hear more from him a little later. He talks about emceeing the Beatles concert here in Chicago at Comiskey Park. And on the text line, people remember.
Great. I mean, I remember as a 9-year-old on Pine Grove Avenue listening to Ron Riley and Clark Webber's feud. As a kid, I was glued to the radio each evening listening to Ron. Here's the one. I was a fan of Ron Riley's and a member of the Batman Club.
Yeah, those cards are still around.
I've seen those.
Text line is 312-981-7200.
And there's pizza downstairs. We'll be right back.
WGN, Chicago's stereo.
Doggone it. If you're listening, you're turning to each other and saying, they really are. That's us, and it's maybe you too.
I'm looking at some of these nice texts that are coming in, and this one from somebody out in Arizona enjoying the memories out here, Judy and Zach, and it reminds me, this radio station, like the one we were on in the 70s, nighttime, it blasts out all over the country.
That was the deal.
And now this radio station has the best signal in Chicago.
Yes,
other stations have done things, sold transmitters, moved to different locations. Yeah. Not us.
No.
Not us at WGN.
No. WGN, turned it on 100 years ago, and it's still on.
And the guy that turned it on is still there.
He's in the other room right now.
And so, because of that, and because we have a lot of transplanted Chicagoans listening everywhere online now,
yes,
I should use the line that Wolf Blitzer lines. Hello to our audiences here and around the world.
Indeed, yes.
We being Bob Sirott and John Landecker, as seen in today's Chicago Tribune, Robert Chanik doing a story on this very program tonight, this special. It's in the business section of the Trib and online. But I have a couple problems with this.
Wait, it's in the business section?
Yeah, here it is. Did you see it?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I was looking online. I didn't realize it was in the... I don't think I've ever been in the business section.
Well, you are now on the front page of the business section. Okay, so see this nice color photograph of the two of us?
I do.
Since when are you a foot taller than me? Were you standing on a box?
No, you're right. I never really paid any attention to that. I'm not a foot taller. I'm like a half a head taller.
Control room Jack, take another picture of the two of us tonight and make sure we're the same height, and it will replace this picture.
And you might need to bring in a little box for Bob to stand on before we do that.
The other problem I have, the headline here, right next to our picture, it says, Radio Geeks will revisit Chicago's Top 40 heyday on WGN AM. Like we're the two radio geeks.
Well,
what is
we
that?
are.
Oh, yeah.
But we are the two radio geeks.
I guess you're right.
You started this whole thing, and now he looks in the newspaper and he wants to complain about it. Hey, Bob, this is all you're doing. And I want to remind you, you're at work.
Thank you. I needed that. While we go down for pizza in a couple of minutes and then bring it back up here because this is the supper club tonight, not the breakfast club.
Don McNeil's supper club?
Yeah, we do the breakfast club in the morning. This is the supper club now. And while we're doing that, we will continue to look at your texts and possibly take a call or two. And we should also mention... as we said, Spike Odell is going to join us, and we'll talk to Spike. And, of course, he has fans from his days before WGN.
That's right.
In the Quad Cities.
That's right.
And we wanted to sort of broaden this out. In fact, if we ever do another one of these specials, why not have Steve Dahl on? Why not? You were at the Loop, too, later.
Sorta.
sort of. But why not include folks who grew up with the Loop?
Yeah.
If you're of a certain age, you grew up with LS and CFL.
If you can find Brandmeier, good luck.
I can find him. I don't know whether we can get him on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But shouldn't we do that?
Sure.
If we do another one of these?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why not?
And maybe some music people?
Oh, you mean like the old do you mean the ones we did at LS?
No. I'm talking about maybe some people who are in local bands.
Oh, I thought maybe you thought, like I had to bring in a 6-pack of beer for Alice Cooper so I could do that music people with
that was an interview series that ran Sunday nights.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were referencing.
We all participated. That reminds me of a story that I forgot to tell the last time we got together. Do you remember kidnapping Elton John?
No.
We went to a party.
Wait a minute, hold on. That's a tease.
Oh.
The story of how Elton John was kidnapped. Part of tonight's radio for Geeks Only. But right now, let's see. Yeah, what the heck. Time to get into the Northwestern Medicine Newsroom on 720 WGN.
Before we get to the news, let's answer this text. Who got into more trouble, Landecker or Sirott?
I did. Easy.
And that's because at the jock meetings, you were always yelling and screaming.
I'm yelling and screaming about the
complaining.
music. I was complaining all the time. This music sucks. Why aren't...
You didn't think Billy, Don't Be a Hero and Heartbeat, It's a Love Beat were good to play at night?
I needed to express an opinion that needed to be expressed. You people are wrong. You go have a baby, Paul Anka, not me.
You were right, John. It's news time.
Leaky roofs, squeaky floors, noisy neighbors, I can help. If you're looking for some friendly advice about your home, call me, Lou Manfredini, on Saturday mornings for House Smarts Radio. It all starts at 6 a.m. I'll be taking your calls live.
WGN Chicago.
A Nexstar Media Group station.
John Landecker, Bob Sirott, 720 WGN Radio, Geeks Only, standing by for Spike Odell. But first, we must return to find out the exciting ending of the premise of that was set up before the top of the hour when Bob said, "Do you remember when we kidnapped Elton John?" And I said, "No."
Well, you were at the event. It was a party because he had a new record out, and so there's a cocktail party. And I think it was in that building where Arnie's used to be. Do you remember that? Newbury Plaza, somewhere around there.
Oh, yeah.
So we're all at the party, and we want Elton John to be part of the Music People interview series we all participated in. But it was crowded and noisy, and we didn't know what to do. So we thought, wait a minute, one of our sales people, they have a condo in this building.
Nice.
And a recorder. So if we can get Elton John upstairs to his apartment, we can do the interview. So somebody lured Elton.
I've never heard this story.
Simon T. Remember the salesman?
Salesperson.
We lured him into his apartment. I don't know under what premise.
But
anyway.
I don't think we want to know.
And so then I find myself sitting on the couch with Elton John talking to him. And the whole time I'm talking to him, and the interview's okay, but he's looking around as we're talking for somebody to get him out of this. And fortunately, it took him about 20 minutes to make eye contact with one of his people who realized he was missing, came up to rescue him, but we had the interview and played it. And that's the night we kidnapped Elton John.
How it is that all these years have gone by, I've never heard that story, and I was downstairs in that same building at the same party. Oh, no. Now I know why I don't know. Never mind.
We wanted to modernize this edition of Radio Geeks Only and include the 80s and WGN and Spike Odell.
Hey.
Hello, you geeks.
Hey.
Hi, Spike. How you doing?
I got to tell you guys, I love this segment. I went back and listened last week. I just think it is so cool. I mean, there are geeks on both sides of the microphone. I mean, us, we're geeks, because we yap into a microphone. But people listening are radio geeks because a lot of them follow everything everybody does.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that you guys came up with this idea to let people take a peek behind the curtain. Really?
Really? That's Bob.
Yeah.
Bob. This is all Bob's doing, by the way. So.
Well, as I said to the general manager here recently, when I realized I had to do the morning show and the nighttime show tonight.
Yeah.
Whose idea was this? And then she reminded me. Spike, we're hearing from people on the text line, and not only WGN listeners, but Quad City folks.
Oh, really? Okay. Hi, guys.
Yeah, you were there, weren't you?
Oh, buddy. You know, matter of fact, in the Quad Cities, I'm not known as Spike Odell. I was known as Spike at the mic. I don't know how that happened, but everybody just called me Spike at the mic.
It's very catchy. I like it.
Didn't you use that on GN as well? A little bit?
No. When I came to GN, Dan Fabian sent me down and he says, "You're in Chicago now. We're all grown up. You're going to use your last name." I heard your story about John Records Landecker. Yeah. So they want to tell you who you are and who you should be. No, that's who I am. But anyway, I figured I just got a gig, so I better go with it.
You know, it worked out well.
Here you go.
Yeah, it's all right.
Spike, listener text. We were from Moline, Illinois High School, but everyone in the Quad Cities listened and loved Spike.
Yeah.
I was on for a couple of years at KSTT. Some legendary call letters for a 1,000-watt directional radio station. A lot of big names came out of that station. And then I went to Kick 104, which was a huge FM station, 100,000 watts. You could hear us in Minnesota. You could hear us in Missouri. And we played every gymnasium donkey basketball game between here and there.
And how was it? Because you were playing rock and roll, so then when you get to WGN and you're talking, how was the transition for you?
It sucked.
You mean you weren't, that shocks me. You were not doing any kind of talk before you came here?
Well, I did. I think that's why they hired me, because I did a lot of bits. I did a lot of phone. I was on the phone half. I shouldn't say that. I played the hits half the time, the phone the other half the time.
Gotcha.
And did a lot of little bits, here and there. And I think that's what. But I think what got their attention in Chicago is that we just killed everybody down there. We had like 25 share.
That's big,
when
folks.
The closest one next to us was like 8.
That's big-time radio numbers. That's ratings. Yeah. That's money. Yeah. That's cash. That's Spike.
If you want to hear a lot of your favorite Spike moments, hang on, because there's a way to do that now, and Spike will tell us about that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and first we have some business to take care of.
Yes, we'll be right back on 720 WGN. See how that works?
WGN. Hi, just a Florida native here with a quick message for all the new residents. Welcome. There are things us locals just know, and I want you to know them too. Like, never leave home without sunscreen. Ever. Oh, and scrub bugs off your car right away. And when traffic gets trafficky, take the toll roads. The locals choose ePass. It's a free toll sticker that saves time and gives you volume toll discounts, only with ePass. It might be hot out, but driving's cooler and easier with ePass. Get your free sticker at getepass.com and start driving and saving like a local.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A sweltering night is the perfect time to throw on your helmet or boots, grab an ice-cold Mountain Dew Baja Blast with a wave of tropical lime flavor, and head to the hills for some hiking, mountain biking, and panoramic views you'll be liking. Because raising your heart rate and your elevation deserves the elevated deliciousness of cold refreshment.
Give me a river, give me a dew, give me something simple and true. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew.
Do the dew.
John, you're a professional. I've got a mouthful of pizza thanks to Jill Schmidt, Public Relations, for this. But I'm supposed to announce something now. What do I do?
Grit your teeth and read.
I'll try. This is a special edition of the John Landecker Show for Radio Geeks Only, sponsored by our friends at Apple Chevy, as we talk about Fun days and nights in radio. It's great to know there's a family-owned car dealership that is still providing that old-school way of doing business. And they really are. Apple Chevy, they've been grounded in legacy since 1963 with a true heartfelt, caring environment. And Apple Chevy continues to invest in people. They know you prefer to talk to a smiling person, not artificial intelligence. You will always get a local, helpful automotive expert to answer all your questions. That's the way it should be, but it isn't these days. But it is at Apple Chevy. They treat you like they're part of the family. You're part of the family. And they keep commitments with a handshake. It's very refreshing. For the very best car buying experience, do what I do and so many WGN listeners have done. Trust the good people at Apple Chevrolet. Really a great environment there. Your journey starts by going to applechevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You know, people say, what's Spike up to these days? We're going to find out right now. Hey, Spike, what are you up to?
Well, I'm the poster boy for doing nothing.
And you do it in Tennessee, right?
Yeah, Tennessee. That's what my son always says. My dad's the poster boy for doing nothing. Oh, I stay busy. I like to paint pictures. I've written a book. I chase grandkids around to every soccer field in Middle Tennessee. So I stay busy.
And what is the new deal you've got going where you have posted some of your old audio? How does that work? What's going on?
Are you talking about the Now You Know?
Yeah.
I used to do a bit, you'd like to come up with little bits, little hooks. I mean, you guys all had hooks, and Boogie Check and BS. You just got hooks to keep people listening to you. So I came up with this little stupid thing where I would throw out a useless piece of information or a trivia piece right at the beginning of the show. And you never knew when I was going to ask you to call back. Be caller number 75917. And I would unload Wally's prize cabinet on you.
Nice.
So I would try to come up with the stupidest thing. I said that about a month and a half ago at the house here, and my boy was there, my son Michael. And after I said something, I said, "Now you know," which was the big ending to the bit. And he says, "I remember that, Dad." I said, "You do?" He says, "Yeah, that was the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life." And then he paused for a second. He said, "Let's revive that."
Oh.
He's the IT guy, so he puts it all together. I come up with a stupid piece of information. He puts it together. I post it every day. And I don't have any prizes this time, but it's just kind of a fun way to stay connected with everybody.
You post it where?
On Facebook.
Do you put it on YouTube? Can we see?
No, it's not on YouTube. It's just on my. If you go to Spike's Now You Know.
Okay.
It will be there.
When I saw some of the comments after you announced you were going to do this, I thought, well, we got to get Spike on our little geek special here because people. Well, to say they remember you is an understatement. They love you, Spike.
Well, thank you. I heard you guys talking about the connection with the audience. I didn't really think about that till I was gone for a while, and then it really kind of hit me that you really get connected, and it's kind of touching in a way. I don't want to get all soupy and sobby, but I really miss that part.
Well, I totally relate to what you're talking about. Because it didn't dawn on me. I didn't have the realization of how deeply things that we were doing on the radio affected listeners until literally decades after they were over. And I would be somewhere, let's say, I'm in a grocery store or whatever, and somehow my name comes up, and boom, I'll get somebody with a absolutely fantastic memory, word for word, something that happened. I mean, that was a long time ago.
To remember a bit.
And they still remember, and they love it.
I've had a couple of people say to me, "Spike, you said something on such and such a day about this subject, whatever it was, and it was a life-changing moment for me. It changed my life."
Right.
And I have no clue. I don't even remember it.
Right.
But for some reason, it changed their life. So, yeah, radio is powerful, whether we think it is or not.
Yeah, it's the human voice, and also certainly for me and for John. I don't know about you, Spike, because you came later, but back in the 70s, no cable, no VCR, no DVR, no DVD, no video games, no smartphones. So we had less competition, let's face it.
No real FM either.
The slice of the pie was much bigger back in our day, and now it's much smaller. There's 1,000 different places to go to get entertained.
Yeah, that's right. FM didn't really come into its own
Not yet.
Until later. And I mentioned going from BBM FM to LS. I had to do that. I had to go to AM to afford an FM in my car.
Now, wait a minute. You want to know the real story that I finally heard from Tommy Edwards?
What's that?
That I had absolutely no idea of? Okay. We just said there was no real FM. Well, FM started to make an inroad, okay? It started to show up in the ratings.
In the early 70s, right?
And so Tommy Edwards and whoever was programming goes, we have to get one of the major personalities from an FM station and have him come over here because that'll help stop the tide of listeners going to the FM. And lo and behold, bingo, here comes Bob Sirott from BBM FM. That was the reason. There you go. And now you know the rest of the story.
No. And now you know.
And now you know. Thank you.
One of the highlights of my career was hearing that Spike Odell liked my interview with Paul McCartney. I heard Spike talk about it.
Well, I don't know if you remember this or not, but we talk about being geeks on both sides of the microphone. I was a geek long before I even thought about working on the radio. I actually recorded your show, Bob, and your show, John, and I think I sent those shows to you, and I just did it in the fashion, I scoped it all down, and I said, this is what you sound like in East Moline, Illinois.
You're under arrest, Spike.
I remember meeting you. Dan Filato brought you into the studio. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, Filato, where's he at?
I'm not sure.
I'm not either. I haven't heard from that guy in a long time.
And Spike, before we let you go, people are texting about this, so you got to at least comment on it. It had to be the toughest moment, not just of your broadcast career, but of your life, when you had to go on and break the news about the death of Bob Collins, right?
Yeah, it actually was. And I'll tell you, you guys, to this day, I don't know why it seemed like I was always on the air when something major happened. You know, the towers in New York, the Oklahoma City bombing, Mayor Washington dying, Bob dying in a mid-air collision, and going on the air and telling everybody that. But to this day, I have not heard a lick of audio from that day. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
I know there's a lot of it out there.
They have to relive it. Mm-hmm.
Some radio specials about that day, but I won't listen to it. I don't want to hear it.
Well, you did a masterful job, and it's another reason why you connected with your audience, Spike.
Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I will tell you, I was numb. I didn't know what was going to come out of my mouth, and I just thought, everybody's broken down. They're in tears. They're just sobbing. I said, somebody's got to take control of this. So somebody's got to just tell everybody, yeah, it's sad. We're crying, but we're going to be okay.
Yeah, and we're in it together. I was on the air the afternoon Elvis died. I was also on the air the day Mayor Richard J. Daley died, and I died on the air about 3 times a week.
Yeah. Well, that's a different show, then. Yeah.
That's right. So the answer to the question, where is he now? Are you near Nashville? I forgot, Spike.
Yeah, I live in Brentwood, Tennessee, just a little south of downtown Nashville.
Have you ever heard of Mayfield, Kentucky?
I heard you guys say that earlier.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, I got a good friend that used to live in Mayfield, Kentucky. It's just right up
there. You go.
He used to work on a radio station.
A program director in Mayfield, Kentucky, could tell that you guys suck. See, there you go.
Hey, get me some fresh Google clusters up here, would you, Spike?
Oh, baby, I was just down there the other day where they make them. Chattanooga.
Oh, man, those are great. You can get them around here, but sometimes they're not fresh.
Yeah, that's because we're south of the Mason-Dixon line. It takes a while for the railroads to get up that far.
Are you still doing ham radio?
Yes. Matter of fact, I just talked to a guy in Antarctica the other day.
And how was the president? Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's Alaska. You talked to a guy in Antarctica.
Yeah, he was at a Brazilian atmospheric research station, and I talked to him at Antarctica.
Now wait, there's Brazilian atmosphere in Antarctica?
Well, yeah, the Brazilian scientists, they go down there and they study the ice, the ice caps, the atmosphere, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Every country's got a camp down there, and I just got into the Brazilian one.
Awesome. Yeah, I've always thought about ham radio, and I've been following you, and you're really into it. I've seen pictures of your equipment, and it's got to be fantastic.
I never thought I would ever do this. I was just, one day I just thought, you know what, there are days you kind of miss being on the air after 5 or 6 years, and I thought, you know what, I always had kind of liked ham radio, amateur radio. Let me see what it takes to study for a license. 753 questions I had to learn.
Wow. I
got them.
The thing is that just strikes me the similarity. We talk about WLS, WGN at night, hitting the ionosphere when it's cold and coming down in all sorts of different wild locations that you wouldn't expect. But what you're doing is pretty much the same thing, only on a much grander scale. And you don't rely on the atmosphere.
With a lot less power.
And you're talking to people like around the world.
Around the world, I only use about 1,500 watts. So
wow,
that's what I use. Yeah,
I'm waiting.
Before you guys go, I just want to let you know, I worked at WGN for 22 years, and I'm extremely jealous. I heard the jingles you have at WGN. When did you guys get jingles?
Why don't we get him one?
Yeah,
we should get Spike a jingle.
Yeah,
we can do that.
Yeah, the grand. I'll speak to the man.
Jingles at WLS. I had to manufacture my own, and it sounded like I was in the back room of a Jiffy Lube when I just wanted somebody to go, Spike Odell.
We'll get it. Write that down.
Our grand, high, exalted, mystic ruler, the supreme allied commander of the station, loves jingles. He's responsible for our jingles. We'll talk to him. We'll get you one.
Yeah.
And Spike, let us know when your wonderful paintings will be displayed at the Louvre. Okay?
I've got to get out of the way for that because Beyonce's got something she's showing there before me, so when she's done, I'll probably go in there.
Hey, great talking to you, Spike. Everybody loves you. Don't forget that.
Thanks, Spike.
Love you guys. You guys are geeks. Keep this up.
Yes, thank you, fellow geekish. It's the bottom of the hour. Time to get into the WGN newsroom. This is John Landecker. We're just a click away when you set the first button on your digital dashboard for WGN. Find out how at WGNradio.com.